On the first day of Christmas in July, I took a cardboard and I drew a Christmas tree several times until I found the drawing that I liked. Then with a Sharpie, I traced over the drawing to get it ready for the next step. I took the cardboard and a carbon paper and I pinned it down to the piece of wood, and with a pen, I traced the Christmas tree again, transferring the drawing to the piece of wood. Now I took a Sharpie and again I traced the Christmas tree once again to make the lines very visible for the next step, which was to take this piece of wood to my scroll saw and start to cut out the Christmas tree. Here is my scroll saw. I have been using it for several years and feel very comfortable with it. But I took it outside so I can show you how I cut out this Christmas tree, and it is not on the right table, so the machine will move a little bit because it's not bolted down. This process does take quite some time and some patience, but once it is done, the Christmas tree looks beautiful. So I'm almost done cutting out this Christmas tree, and the next thing that I will do is to cut out the round. Here is the piece of wood that has the round on it, and I'm cutting that out for the next step, which is to sand both pieces on the sander. So now I'm done sanding both of these pieces and I'm getting ready for the next step. Now I am going to place these two pieces together, and I'll be using some nail and Gorilla Glue. And the reason I use Gorilla Glue instead of nail glue is because this glue dries in the form of foam and it fills in the gap between the Christmas tree and the base. After I find the center of the round, I'll take the nails and I will take the glue and spread the glue on the bottom of the Christmas tree and attach both pieces together with the nails and the glue. Now this is done and the Christmas tree is ready for some gesso. I'm going to place a first layer of gesso and let it dry. If I think it needs a second layer, I will sand it down a little bit and give it a second layer of gesso. But it looks like this Christmas tree only needs one layer, so we're going to say goodnight to it, let it dry, and come back on day 2. On the second day of Christmas in July, I picked my colors. I picked a deep sapphire by DecoArt, sapphire by DecoArt, Amsterdam titanium white, and Amsterdam turquoise green. I decided my Christmas tree was going to be not so traditional, but it was going to be an ocean-themed Christmas tree in July. Both of these two paints were mixed with a little bit of Liquitex medium in silver to give it a little shine. I placed 3 dots on the Christmas tree so I knew exactly where I was going to paint the different colors. Starting with the deep sapphire, the turquoise green, and the white on the bottom. Both DecoArt colors, the sapphire and the deep sapphire, were not mixed with any medium. I used them directly onto the Christmas tree. Okay guys, I am going to put up the music, finish painting this Christmas tree, and I'll be back to you on my 3rd day of Christmas in July. On the third day of Christmas in July, I made sure that my Christmas tree was leveled on a few cups that I put on the bottom, and it was time to start resining this Christmas tree. I took some white sand and some sprinkles, added it to some resin, and placed it on the bottom of the Christmas tree. Then I added a thin layer of resin, clear resin, to the rest of the Christmas tree, thin enough that it would dry within 24 hours, and I would be able to work with it the next day. So for now, we're going to say goodnight to our Christmas tree, and we'll be back for the fourth day of Christmas in July. On the fourth day of Christmas in July, I placed some white rocks, some blue stones, and shells on the sand. Then I resined the rest of the tree with a heavier layer of clear resin, making sure that I covered the whole tree this time. Then I popped all the bubbles, and it was time to add my waves. With a hot gun on low heat and medium air, I was able to make my waves as best as I could. So far, I've been very happy with this Christmas tree, and it's been so much fun making it. But once again, we must say goodnight to our Christmas tree until the fifth and final day of Christmas in July. On the fifth day of Christmas, I painted a few spots on the back of the Christmas tree that were still bare. I added some Liquitex gloss medium, and I added some sprinkles to make it sparkle. Then I made a hole on the top of the Christmas tree to add my topper, and I added my topper. Here's the top of the Christmas tree. Here's the back side of the Christmas tree and the bottom of the tree. And here she is, my first Christmas in July Christmas tree. It has been a joy and an honor being part of this collaboration. And although today's the last day, it's not over yet. We still have Kelly Marshall Art and NK Artistry Creations. As always, be happy, be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.